Good morning. Thanks for joining me at Coffee with Kory. Well, I gave it my best shot, guys. When we had coffee together last week, I mentioned that I was going to try and find a spot by the water where we could have coffee this week while Jossie and I are here in Florida, and I did that. It was a perfect location, one of my most frequent and favorite spots to watch the sunrise is Bayfront Park on Longboat Key. And I got set up there on a picnic table and had the sun coming up in the background, pelicans flying by, and it was amazing. And after we had our coffee together and I watched it, the wind really would barely allow you to hear what I was saying. So as much as I really wanted to show off the scenery, I felt it was better to have a conversation that might actually be audible. And I might have been shivering a little bit too because it was chilly on Longboat this morning. There's that stretch of beach that I think I've referenced before. It was, it goes for miles with really nothing. And of course, at that time, a couple hours before sunrise, there's nobody else there. The only people that joined me this morning as I took that stroll on the beach are my gym buddies, because I'm snapping a few pictures and sending them to them, and they're responding to me. And it was kind of almost like I was back in Sioux Falls with you guys. So thank you for interacting with me, guys. I appreciated that. And so I had the coffee with you guys, and it didn't work out. So here I am back at the house, pool, boat, and it's still a little bit of a taste of Florida, at least significantly better than the snow that Jossie and I are going back to today. So I've got to touch on a movie clip this week that came up in my social media feed. I took a snapshot of it and sent it to Matt over in Mitchell, one of our real estate agents and a friend of mine, because we've talked about the movie Vision Quest on a number of occasions over the years. And that movie was really important to me as a high schooler, especially as a high school wrestler. I think that's kind of like the anthem for high school wrestlers, at least it was in the late 80s. But it really was one of the first times that I thought about, what's my purpose? Where am I going? What am I trying to accomplish? And so much so that I made mention to my good friend Steve Majeski, who we talk about often here on Coffee with Kory. I mentioned to him that someday I'm going to own a company and I'm going to name it Vision Quest. Well, shortly thereafter, in true Steve fashion, he gives me a nameplate for my future company, Kory Davis Vision Quest. And I always just carried that around with me for, I don't know, a couple decades actually. And a handful of years ago, as most of you guys know, the name of my real estate company is The Experience. And so it kind of looked like the Vision Quest wasn't going to happen. Well, a handful of years ago, we needed another vehicle to be able to help clients accomplish their goals. And I guess in a sense, as I sit here and I reflect on it now, reach their vision of home ownership and realizing their real estate dreams. And when we formed that company, we called it Vision Quest, and it was kind of a full circle moment for me. That if you've been friends with me on social media for long, I believe I actually made a social media post about that when we formed the company, and it's been very successful for a large number of people, and has accomplished for them exactly what I set out to do when Steve gave me that nameplate all those many years ago. So it was a cool deal this week when I saw that come up. I took that snapshot and sent it over to Matt, and so I wanted to relay all that to you guys. And I appreciate you listening to it, and I appreciate you joining me, and we'll hope to see you again next week on Coffee with Kory.